Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Chronically Ill Diaries podcast. I'm your host Jane, and on this podcast, we talk all things chronic illness to inspire, share experiences, and support one another. Let's get into this week's episode. Hey guys, so first of all, I just wanted to say I'm recording this podcast from my empty living room. I'm sitting on the floor, literally in the middle of my living room on the rug, looking out the window, recording this. Like, I need to post a picture of me right now so people can see how funny this is. But France and I have been wanting to buy a new couch for a while, and I kept saying, no, like we should save our money and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, you know what, we do need a new couch. And Franz was away this weekend for a bachelor party. So I'm like, this is the perfect weekend to get the new couch, surprise him. And when he comes home, it'll look completely different, so cozy, so nice. And he didn't have to do any of the work. So I got it. It's coming like literally any second now. And what I didn't think about was getting rid of our old couch. And mind you, it's not that heavy, but I cannot maneuver that thing out the door all by myself. Like, I'm gonna need another person, and I'm alone right now. So I'm like, fuck. But we'll get it figured out. The couch is still here, the new one's coming, but you know, at the end of tonight, it'll all be squared away. We just gotta let things be sometimes. Can't have control. Something I'm working on as I'm staring at the couch freaking out over here, but it's okay. We'll let it be. But enough of that. Let's get into the actual topic of the podcast this week. And I just kind of wanted to talk about like gratitude in general, but go more in depth into it. So basically, when I drive to work, I got a 30-minute drive, and it's kind of early in the morning, like 6:30. And so I kind of feel like my mind is just wandering. It's not really in the mood to listen to music or anything. A lot of times I do listen to podcasts, which this idea stemmed from a podcast that I was listening to. And it basically just made me realize that I am not being very grateful for my situation right now. And for the past year, I've moved to Arizona September 1st of last year, so it's the 17th today, so pretty much a year. And this entire year, I've been negative fucking Nancy about living in Arizona, like not being in San Diego, just not being in California in general, and not just being grateful that I am living in a very beautiful place. And when I really kind of like got this idea in my head, it was probably like a couple weeks ago, and I started actually like looking around as I'm driving, or like looking around as I'm just going to the grocery store or going to Target, and realizing that this place, this area that I live in, like it's actually such a beautiful place. And I feel like I tend to base my liking or dislike of a place on the beauty of it. And I wasn't giving Arizona the time of day because, one, I was like mad that I had to leave San Diego. Two, there's no ocean or whatever, and it's so fucking hot here. But really, like, I started to just look around and be like, dang, like I have been living in this area for a year, and I have not been grateful for the fact that I do live here. I do live not just in Arizona, like I live in North Scottsdale, and it's a very, very nice area to live in. And this whole time I've just been so like sad about it. And so that's kind of just like what I wanted to talk about this week, and really just put into perspective that like just because things are different than what you're used to, or maybe a little different than what you thought or what you wanted things to be, doesn't mean that it's not a beautiful place, a beautiful thing. And so on. I thought, because I'm leaving the beach area, that it's never, like nothing will compare to California. I will admit, if someone said that I could go back to San Diego and everything would just work out, I would probably do it. But that doesn't mean that I can't be happy here while I am here, because I am committing to be here for at least another year. until I finally fucking graduate college. Because let me just say, the amount of times I've moved, the amount of schools I've been to has really messed up the course of me graduating, along with me taking year-long breaks, 2-year-long breaks. And I don't know, I just really want to graduate from ASU and finally just be like, I did it, I'm done. It took me 8, 9, 10 years. Who fucking cares? I graduated, and what's the next thing that we got to do? You know what I mean? Like, I just want to get it done. And so I'm committing to living here for another 2 years. But basically, in another podcast that I've done not too long ago, I was talking about journaling. And one of the things that I used to journal was things that I was grateful for. Again, I haven't really been consistent with that and really doing that at all. And I really do feel like if I would have stuck to my roots, if I would have stuck to the things that I know work, that I know make me better, make me happier, make me want to try, motivated, determined, whatever it is, like, that is one of those things. And I'm looking back and being like, this is like confirmation that journaling truly is something that did work for me, because I'm not doing it right now. And I didn't realize that I am living in a beautiful place, and I should be grateful for this opportunity to be able to live here. Both of the beautiful places I've lived, San Diego and here, at first I was ungrateful to live in San Diego. It didn't take a year for me to realize it. It took me like a month. But I truly didn't see how great it was right away. And when I went back to my roots again, I started to see, like, my eyes were opened. I were able to see that this is a beautiful place. Look at where I live. Not saying that where I came from isn't a beautiful place, because honestly, every single time I go home, I'm so grateful to be home. Like, I go home and I'm like, dang, like, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful for the people that are here, my family, my friends. I'm so happy that I'm able to be here. And like, my mom lets me use her car. My mom lets me use her bed. Like, everything is so perfect. People make time for me when I come here. And the people that do make time for me, like, I know, like, I'm very grateful for them, because they have a whole life without me, you know, and they're taking time out of their day, out of their busy schedule, taking time off work to be with me. And that's something I'm so grateful for. And I can't believe that I never saw it here. And truly, like, everyone talks shit, like, about Arizona, like, in my family and stuff, like, oh, Arizona, ew, that's disgusting, come back home. And like, I would agree with them for the longest time, but seriously, like, just doing my regular day-to-day life, I can be so grateful for that, and so grateful for my surroundings and my people. Like, I don't even know if my friends listen to this podcast. I truly don't care if they do or don't, but if they are listening, like, one of my friends that I made out here, I kind of hate making friends with my coworkers, because I feel like it's just like kind of like dating a coworker. Like, it's kind of the same thing, but not as bad. But I did meet one of my friends out here who was a coworker, and she honestly has become one of my best friends. And honestly, so grateful for her. So grateful that she took me under her little wing and helped me fly away and be happy in Arizona. And I truly feel like she's a big part of why I'm happy here. And so literally shout out to her, because she's made the transition here like so much easier, so much better, and introduced me to all of her friends. And just, I don't know, just meeting people like that are actually good people and are open to just being friends with someone and just letting them like join you without like strings attached or whatnot. But truly, like, I truly think that without her, I would probably find the beauty in this place, but I would still be sad that I'm away from my friends, like back in San Diego or back at home. And that's something like I never want to continue doing. I want to just have a life wherever I live. I don't want to like dwell on the fact that my friends are not here and I can't make new friends. Like, no, I should go out and make new friends. Like, natural friends, though. Not like go to the club and make new friends. Like, actually natural, genuine friends. And I feel like I found one, and now that's sprouted into a couple, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I feel like if I were to leave Arizona tomorrow, like, I would probably, wherever I end up, I would probably look back and, like, feel like I was taking that beautiful place, this beautiful place I'm in right now, for granted. And I kind of feel that way in both the places that I lived. Leaving Modesto, it was like, I thought it was the ugliest place. I hated it. It was just like a small town. There was nothing there, yada, yada. Okay, but all of my friends are there. My family is there. The beach was only an hour and away. Like, I took all that for granted. And then in San Diego for a while, like, I didn't really have any friends. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything to do. Like, yeah, I lived in this beautiful place, but I had nothing. And then slowly I built a life for myself out there, and I could have gone to the beach more. That's something that I miss so much right now. Like, I could have gone to the beach more. I worked fucking on the beach. Why didn't I go more? I could have hung out with my friends out there more. Like, so many things that I did take for granted living in such a fucking beautiful place. Like, there were so many things in San Diego I wanted to do. Like, I had a list of things I wanted to do, like, in the fall, in the winter, in the summer, like, all these things. Would I do them? No. And now I don't have an opportunity to do them unless I go visit. And so I took those things for granted. And if I were to leave Arizona, I'm sure there's a lot more things here that I could take for granted. Strangely, there's so many more people that we're friends with in Arizona than when we were in San Diego. Like, I do have a solid couple friends in San Diego that I love so much, but in Arizona, like, we have a lot of support, a lot of people, and a lot of, like, life that we've lived out here. And I just can't believe that, like, I didn't appreciate any of it. And I don't know, if you are thinking about moving, if you've just moved, if you're moved and you feel like how I feel, like, just maybe this will help you see that, like, everywhere is beautiful. I'm sure if I moved to, like, Oklahoma or something, like, I can find the beauty in that. But it just might be hard at first, like, for the change. But to just try to find the beauty right away, even if the beauty is literally just, oh, the sunsets are pretty here. Oh, the trees are very beautiful here, the mountains, whatever it is, like, just finding the beauty in something and then building off of that. Because it's kind of hard to just go and be grateful that you're there, especially, like, for me, I moved here for someone else. Like, I moved here for Franz's job. I moved to San Diego for Franz's job. And, like, San Diego was a little for me, but this one was solely for him. I was solely supporting him. And to just think that I could have moved from Arizona, although it wasn't my choice, I didn't necessarily want to go, I wasn't excited, but I could have just told myself, okay, this is going to be an experience. I didn't know how San Diego was going to turn out, but it ended up being the best place ever. And I never wanted to leave. So maybe this place can also be the best place that I never want to leave. Who really knows? Like, I just turned 26, and there's so much more life to live. Like, I hope this isn't the last place I live. I really do. I really do hope that we continue to find new places to live and love and new friends in all these different areas, and just continuing to have, like, such an eventful, such a fun life. I don't know. 3 years really isn't that long, but it is at the same time. I can handle moving every 3 years. Maybe move to New York. Maybe move to Texas, Tennessee. Maybe not. Who really knows? But at the end of the day, I am grateful for my experiences here and the places that I've been. And moving forward, I will continue to be grateful and not take for granted the places that are to come. And I'm just going to sit on that for a little bit. I really am just going to sit on that for a little bit. And I hope that even if you aren't even in the thoughts or planning to move or anything like that, but you're in your hometown, you're going to stay in your hometown for who knows how long. Like, I don't know, maybe just look around, look at it, your place from a different perspective, look at your life from a different perspective, and really just start to love it in a different way and just be grateful like in a different way than you already are. Or if you're not seeing things like with gratitude, maybe just start and, like I said, journal it down. But even if you don't want to journal, you can just think about, okay, I'm so grateful for A, B, and C. That's honestly good enough. Like, just acknowledging what you're grateful for and acknowledging that, like, you're happy because of these things. Like, I don't really think people think about why they're happy if they're happy. People only think about why they're sad, why they're mad. No one thinks about, why am I happy? Why has it been a whole week since I've cried? Why have I not been mad at all? Why did this person cut me off? And normally I would flip them off and honk at them, but today I'm just like smiling and like whatever and move on with my life. Why? People don't think about that. So I'm going to leave you with this. Today, grab yourself a piece of paper. If you already journal, make it your next entry. If not, literally grab any piece of paper, sticky note, I don't care, anything. And write down 3 things that you are grateful for in your life. They can literally be something so small. When I used to do this a lot, and I remember this so clearly. I wish I had a picture of it still, but it was right after my feet finally went back to normal, because when your kidneys don't work, a lot of times your feet get very, very swollen and it's super hard to walk, all that stuff. So I remember one of the things I wrote down was my feet are back to normal. That was it. And that sounds so silly, like my feet are back to normal. I can see the bones in my feet. I was very grateful for that. So it can literally be something like that. I woke up today. I had the best coffee this morning. Or I was able to go out with my friends this afternoon for lunch. Literally things like that. Literally, I'm breathing today. I was able to get all my chores done today. Like, literally anything that you're grateful for, anything that's making you happy right now, write those down. And I challenge you to continue to do that until the next podcast comes out, and see if you can stay consistent. And honestly, in a week, maybe by then it becomes something that you actually like to do and you can continue to do it. If you do it, please take a picture and tag me on Instagram on your story, and I will also post mine as well, because if I don't do it, then no one will do it, And I really feel like writing down what you're grateful for every single day. It could be morning, it could be night. At night, it could be like the things that happen in the day or whatever. Like, it's such a great thing. It's really a great thing to acknowledge all those things that, like, you are grateful for. You can see it. You remind yourself, like, oh yeah, why am I sad? I have these things. I do have these things. So let's not focus on the sad, the bad, the madness. Let's focus on these 3 things. That's it. And I hope that it'll just turn that mood around. And it's worked for me, and hopefully it can work for others. And hopefully you can see the beauty in where you live and where you're going and where you came from and everything. And even in your situations, even in your relationships, you can find the beauty in it all by just seeing it from a different perspective. But that's all I have today, guys, for this podcast. I'm sorry if it was a little scatterbrained. I'm literally, like I said, on the floor. That's how this mood is going right now. But I love you guys. I love the support. I know I've been so bad about posting. Life has been so fucking crazy, and I know I say that every time, but it's real. It's true. But I'm going to try and be more consistent. I'm going to record a bunch of episodes today and tomorrow. So I hope to get them up consistently for the next month or so. But I love you guys. I love your support. Write down your 3 things that you're grateful for and tag me in them on your story, the Chronically Ill Diaries. And I will see you guys soon. Love you guys.